this council has to make for the future of the nation. And as a leader, you sit back and you listen, you see, you observe. And that's basically what I've done since this settlement came forth. And I say, what I'm about to say, I say with all due respect to former leaders, public opinion that has been expressed. However, when you look at the settlement, when you look at how we are today as a nation, when you include the court systems, there's certainty in certain areas and there's uncertainty in others. Certainty is that, as indicated by Mr. Hutter, that water flows to Tucson, Phoenix, and San Diego. Certainty is that that will continue to happen without development. The uncertainty is the nation willing to put forth those dollars needed. The uncertainty, or certainty also, is that growth will continue within those cities, within outside boundaries of the Navajo Nation. The uncertainty is whether or not the nation will step up to the plate and develop, to utilize the waters that exist today, or any future waters. The certainty is that there are stipulations within the settlement. It talks about all water being used. It does not restrict the nation as to how those waters can be used. The uncertainty is whether the nation again will step up to the plate to spend the dollars needed to develop those waters. The uncertainty is the courts. If this goes on to be litigated, how will the courts rule? In the nation's favor or not in the nation's favor? And if they do rule in the nation's favor, the certainty is that there will be no money tied to it. The certainty is within the settlement. It says this amount, this is what's going to be constructed. And it gives stipulation that says if this does not occur by this date and time, the deal is off. The uncertainty is whether or not the Congress folks in Washington will appropriate those dollars. The certainty is that Senator Kyle McCain has to convince Congress to do so. The uncertainty, does he have that kind of power to do so? The other uncertainty is, will the parties that have been negotiating for decades, will they come back to the table after the action of council? The uncertainty is, will it be any better than what's before us today? We don't know. I don't know. But certainly, the uncertainty, or the certainty, is also is that the Little Colorado River has to be settled first before the mainstream can be considered. So whether it's this settlement or a future settlement, will be determined. The 6411 to Winter Rock. There is certainty now that water could be delivered to Winter Rock Valley. The uncertainty is if, in fact, this nation accepts a settlement within the 18-year period, whether Winter Rock Valley will get its water or not. Certainty is that Winter Rock will be financed. that water will continue to flow. So lastly, I say, if the nation chooses not to accept the settlement, that beginning tomorrow, you begin to look at an settlement. You certainly don't want to be here 30 more years from now with no settlement. So I look forward to the amendments. I think the amendments that are going to be proposed are something this nation can consider. NGS is an issue with all of us.